Hello, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Kiyan.
And this is Trust Your Doctor, that podcast from hell, because this week we watched The Impossible Planet and The Satan Pit.
Written by Matt Jones.
Directed by James Strong. Yeah, easy to pronounce name.
Aired on June 3rd and 10th, 2006. So really strong story.
Wow, I see what you did there. I thought it was just okay.
This is my favorite. This story overall is my favorite of the reboot.
Funny, like a week ago you were bashing it for having such an edgy title.
Yeah, it still does have a really edgy title.
Yeah, I guess you liking it doesn't change the fact that the title is edgy.
Actually contributes to me liking it.
What, because it was like edgy, I guess?
It was dark and edgy.
It was like trying something new.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, this story was pretty dark and edgy,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It begins... I think it begins with the Doctor and Rose landing.
It begins with this really awkward scene. And there were a lot of awkward scenes in this. And Billie Piper's acting seems to be deteriorating and really contributing to the awkwardness. Although they aren't really doing Rose's character much justice in this season anyway, so I guess she's just doing the best she can with it.
Is she really doing the best she can with it?
Okay, maybe not the best, but she's doing a decent enough job, I guess.
She's doing aight.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even remember the exact dialogue, but I just remember feeling really awkward watching this scene, like, and just the way it's shot, too, with the weird overhead shot that it starts with. Anyway, the TARDIS materializes in some sort of loading bay, and
yeah, it's like a storage closet.
Yeah.
And the Doctor mentions that the TARDIS like didn't want to land, like it's queasy or something. And he's like, that's kind of weird. Wonder if that means anything. Man, we should just ignore it and continue on like we always do.
Yeah, a lot of the dialogue here was really quick-paced and witty.
This
didn't really work out, though.
This is, what's his name? Matt Jones's only story for the reboot, apparently. I just found this out, like, now. Like, 10 minutes ago, so I was looking at it and it's like, this is his only contribution to televised Doctor Who. He wrote an episode of Torchwood, but...
Well, I read that The Satan Pit was, like, the lowest rated in terms of viewership of this season.
Yeah, and it was the lowest rated just overall period till an episode of Series 10, I think.
Huh, well that's interesting, because, I mean, I thought Impossible Planet was a pretty good setup and would have made people watch, next week's story to find out how it all turns out.
Apparently Satan Pit was delivered super late. Like, completed episode-wise, it was delivered super late, and apparently they didn't get review copies out to all the press outlets that week. And I don't know how much of an influence that might have had, but the fact that they, like...
Probably not much.
But I don't know, some people like to read a review of the episode to know if it's actually worth watching before watching it, and apparently there were no reviews for Satan Pit.
That?
I don't know. Anyway.
No, that's just really dumb.
I don't know, I'm just hypothesizing.
Yeah, I mean, some people do that.
Yeah.
It's really dumb.
So they like walk through the corridor and Rose is like, welcome to hell, and the Doctor's like, yeah, it's not that bad. And she's like, no, that's written on the wall, welcome to hell. And the Doctor's like, oh.
Yeah, right above that ancient looking, satanic looking, probably
writing.
Prophecy.
And the Doctor's like, wow, TARDIS can't translate this writing, which means it's impossibly old.
Yeah, they say impossible like 20 times in this episode.
Yeah.
Not that it was a big deal, but yeah.
It's the impossible planet.
Anyway, they open a door and some Ood show up.
Yeah, and the Ood are like, we must, what did they say?
They're like, we're gonna eat,
we must feed. And they're like, ah, and then the title sequence starts, and then after the title sequence, the Ood are like, we must feed you your meal.
If you're hungry, that is. Stupid translator thing. So the Ood are a new race, I guess. I know they come back, which is good because they're really well designed.
I found out they wanted the Slovene, apparently, to be the servants, but then they found out that it would cost the same to just make new alien costumes as it would to just make or fix up the Slovene costumes. So they decided we'll just make a new alien race, and also it doesn't make sense for the Slovene to be here.
It completely doesn't make sense for this to be the Slovene, so there's that too. But yeah, the Ood. So they sort of have some tentacles coming out of their
mouth
mouths,
area.
I guess, and their eyes are sort of at an angle. Looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. They almost look like who's that guy from Star Wars? He's on the Jedi Council.
Mundi.
No, it isn't him.
That's the only guy I know on the council, except for I guess Mace and Yoda.
What about Kit Fisto or Fitzo or whatever his
Maybe
name
it's
is.
him. I don't know.
it's not him. It's I don't know his name.
What?
He's that guy with like the breathing apparatus. Yeah, no, I don't know. Watched the new Star Wars recently. That was pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I assumed it would be inevitable, talking about that on this show.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but we're not going to focus in on that.
Yeah, no, we've done our prerequisite talk about it. Now we can move on.
Now we can focus on it in like a year or probably 3 on Triple Play or other podcasts, which you should check out.
They've got the Ood, that is, not Star Wars. The Ood have this like translator ball that goes
really
into
inconvenient
their...
that they have to just carry that around at all times.
Yeah, later on they reveal that like the Ood are born with their brains in their hand, and that translator ball actually like contains their brain in like a protective casing.
I don't remember that.
No, this is later in like a later episode that we haven't watched yet.
Wow.
So you kind of wonder what the genetic advantage of being born with your brain outside your body is, but whatever.
Actually kind of similar to the main villain of this, or what they do with the main villain of this.
Anyway,
what the ancient race does, I guess.
Jefferson busts in, he's like, what's going on? We've got people on board. And the captain is like, that's not possible. Nobody visits here ever. And then so Jefferson's like, yeah, but like, we have people here, like actual people and stuff. And they're like, what?
And they're like, all right, bring them on down to the control room, I guess.
Yeah.
And now we meet the characters of the story, which are Jefferson, who we've already met, and I guess we'll sort of explain them now. They go more into their backstories later, and more into their deepest, darkest fears. So yeah, we have Jefferson. He's a soldier. And we have Captain Zach, who's the captain.
Acting captain.
Because the other captain died. Former captain.
When they landed, apparently.
We have Dan, who he's in charge of the Ood. I really don't know what he did.
I think that's just it. I think he's just in charge of the Ood. We have Toby.
So, like, Dan, you really have no skills, no reason to be on this expedition, so you can be in charge of the Ood.
We've got Toby, who's like the archaeologist, I guess.
/ satanic host.
But unwilling satanic host.
As far as we know.
He seemed pretty unwilling.
He seemed pretty unwilling, but as far as we know. And then we have Scooty, I guess.
Yeah, Scooty.
I really don't know what she did either. Her only purpose in the story was to get killed.
She was like the biologist, I guess.
What?
I don't know.
I think you're just making that up.
She had like a job. They explained all their jobs when they introduced all of them, but...
And then we have Ida, who she actually did something, but I forgot what it was. So really interesting and quote-unquote quirky band of...
and quote-unquote memorable.
They were pretty memorable, you know.
I didn't remember Captain Zach's name or Dan's name at all.
Well...
So you said it right now.
Thing is, yeah, when these characters were first introduced, I was like, all right, discount Firefly crew, whatever. These characters aren't going to be memorable, aren't going to be interesting. But, looking back, I actually thought they were pretty cool characters.
Yeah, I disagree.
I liked Captain Zach. He was the best.
Captain Zach and Jefferson were the only two who I feel like actually had any
Of course, they really
character.
played up Jefferson's death. Yeah, they were the only two who really did have any character, but the other ones were still memorable. I mean, Dan was still memorable for being annoying.
He really, though?
He was really annoying.
Was he, though?
He was, yeah. That's part of the reason why
Was Scooty memorable?
Yeah, she was.
Was she?
To me, they all were memorable. Ida actually did have kind of a character.
Did she, though?
Yeah, she did. I mean, it was sort of a one-note character.
Yeah, but that's not good.
I mean... Nah, I disagree with that. I think one-note characters are enjoyable.
Yeah, things being enjoyable and things being good are
they're
mutually
really,
exclusive.
No, they're exactly
me.
the same thing.
Not to me.
Well, if you're an objectivist,
I try to be,
well, that's pretty lame.
I guess.
And I disagree with objectivism completely.
I mean, yeah, you've said that before. That hasn't
And I'll
stopped
say it
me.
again.
That hasn't stopped me.
All
And
right,
it won't
well,
stop me.
I enjoyed this cast of characters. In the
Well,
long
that's a
run,
bad
they were-
opinion. Anyway, Scooty just dies, so
Not yet.
it's pretty soon.
Well, they reveal.
It's like right now.
It's really not. It's like halfway into the episode. They reveal where they are first. The doctor's like, so why don't you guys get any visitors? And Captain Zach's like, well, watch this. So they open up the airlock, and they don't do that. They open
Just
up
kill everyone.
I've noticed the reboot so far has been really concerned with opening up panels and showing a wide vista of space, and there's something interesting there.
Yeah, because they can actually do that now.
So they
You
do
remember
it.
when they tried to do that in Terror of the Vervoids, and it was just a black like wall that they
No.
had painted?
I don't remember that at all. Probably for the best. Anyway, they do it here, and there's a black hole right outside the base, and they reveal that they're on this planet that's somehow not affected by the black hole, which is why they decided to launch this expedition to find out what's up with black holes, because they're on this like safe haven planet.
Well, they
guess.
do the Inferno thing where it's revealed that there's like a massive power source on the planet that they want to harness for themselves to power things. And the doctor's like, what are you going to do with it? Just power things? You could start a war with that. And they're like, yeah, I mean, we could start a war, but that's not like our first thoughts.
It's down the line, don't jump.
It's like in the cards.
They also just want to explore the planet itself, find out why it's not affected by the black hole.
Well, they know why it's not affected. They know it's generating like a gravity field that keeps it out of the black hole. So they're actually there to find out what's generating the gravity
Yeah,
field.
well, same difference. The black hole looks pretty cool.
I mean, it's kind of a big difference because it explains why they brought Toby along. Like, you wouldn't bring an archaeologist along if you just wanted to know what was going on with the planet.
Well, they brought all those other random people along, like Dan and Scooty.
Well, Dan's in charge of the Ood. Dan's in charge of the Ood.
Yeah, they sort of more introduce the Ood a little more. They're the perfect slave race, according to Dan. They live to take orders. So
They want
sort
to
of-
take orders,
Yeah, they want to take
apparently.
orders. They
They just wither away and die if you don't give them orders, which is
Yeah.
like, I guess that's an effective way to have people give you orders, I suppose.
Rose is, I guess, semi-understandably appalled by how they're just using slave labor, and she confronts Dan about it. She's like, since when have humans needed slaves? And I was like, you really don't know. You're really not brushed up on your history, are you, Rose?
And also the Ood chose to be slaves.
Yeah, true freedom means having the
Choice
to be a slave.
What? What?
Down with the 14th Amendment. I want to be a slave.
What?
Actually, I think it was the 14th. I don't know if it was the 14th or the 15th. It was one of those.
I don't condone these views.
Anyway. No, yeah, I don't either, but
Anyway,
yeah, Rose is pretty mad they're using slave labor.
and Dan's like, oh no, are you one of those Ood, save the Ood people? And Rose is like, yeah, well, so what if I am? And Dan's like, I mean, you can be one of those people. That's cool.
Yeah, I was conflicted about Rose in this story because on the one hand she was kind of cool, kind of resembled her season 1 character, and then on the other hand they kind of just continued to bastardize her character as they've been doing in season 2 in multiple ways.
You gonna talk about any of those ways now? Or are you gonna save them?
No, I'm gonna save them for when they show up.
So Rose goes to get some food, and it looks like the Ood just slops down some black beans on her plate.
Yeah, why not? What's wrong with black beans?
And then
I like black
they're like,
beans.
you want some sauce? And she's like, yeah. And it looks like he just
dump soy sauce.
yeah, it looks like he pours out like soy sauce. Like, black beans and soy sauce, my favorite. And then the Ood's like, the beast will rise and kill all of us. And she's like, wait, what'd you say? The Ood's like, just kidding, enjoy your meal.
He's like, darn translator, these things never work. Enjoy your meal. Rose is like, all right. She tries to make small talk with the Ood, like, yeah, I did that job once. I was a lunch lady. Not calling you a lady.
And the Ood's like,
The Ood just doesn't really respond.
the Ood's like, what'd you say about me? What did you say about me?
You're gonna pay for that.
You're gonna pay for that when the beast rises and kills everyone on this planet.
The beast's gonna kill you first. No, none of that happens.
Anyway, Toby's in his quarters alone, examining old pottery, and then all of a sudden he hears a voice. It's like, don't turn around. I'm behind you. Don't turn around. I'm going
Toby's
to touch
like-
you now. Don't turn around.
Toby's like, not again, Dan.
But no one's there.
He doesn't say not again because that would imply some horrific backstory between Toby and Dan, where Dan has been terrorizing Toby. No, he just thinks it's Dan pulling a trick.
And then it's like, it's not Dan, it's me, the beast. I'm going to touch you. Don't turn around. And then Toby turns around and
no one's there. This story was this was the scariest Doctor Who story overall ever, in my opinion.
I don't know. I still think Tooth and Claw was scarier to me anyway.
Might have helped that I was watching this at like 1 a.m.
Yeah, maybe. Just watch this dead of night when Satan comes down chimney to give you sick face
Coal.
tats. Anyway, Toby
Specifically,
goes
the
outside.
Impossible Planet was scary. This once they reveal like the Satan pit wasn't that scary when they revealed like the CGI Satan and like what was actually going on. And then it was kind of just lame. But this, the demonic voice and the don't turn around thing, that was, and the tats and the red contacts and going out into the vacuum of space and just standing on the planet horrifically. That all was really scary to me.
Yeah, Toby goes outside. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention the earthquake that sends the TARDIS plunging into a chasm, I guess.
They have to jettison certain areas of the base, or they lose certain areas, or I don't really know what happened, but they lose the TARDIS.
Yeah, it falls into a chasm. Doc's like, well, guess we're stuck here, Rose. Rose is like, but we can't be. I have a life. And Doctor's like, this is our life now.
Really awkward scene about paying the mortgage.
Okay, yeah. Doctor's like, I could get a mortgage. And Rose is like, I could get a mortgage. We could get the same mortgage.
Nice.
It's like smooth, Rose. Smooth as chunky peanut butter.
Or not, whatever.
Gotta be confident, Rose. Anyway,
yeah.
Now Toby goes outside and Scooby's like, hey, Toby, what's going on? Oh, wait, where's Toby? Toby's outside.
Toby looks back and he still has the face tats and he still has the red contacts and he just smiles demonically. The guy who played Toby was pretty good. I enjoyed
he
his
was
acting.
all right. He was all right.
I liked his acting on the ship at the end. He did a good job with.
I thought he actually oversold it, to be honest, in the ship at the end. I thought that was his worst scene.
Wow. No, I thought he did a good job pretending like not to laugh and stuff like that. But whatever.
To each his own. But I actually thought he just was actually really overselling that scene.
Anyway, yeah, Scooty dies. She gets sucked out into space.
Yeah.
Ida shows everyone her floating, dead, cold, rigid body.
Well, because they don't know Scooty's dead yet. They just know that the airlock opened and vented a chunk of the ship, the station. So they're like looking
gotta
around
let that
for
fresh
Scooty.
air in every once in a while.
They like rescue Toby from the airlock. They quote unquote rescue Toby from the airlock. And then they're like looking around for Scooty, and the captain's like, yeah, this transmitter's in the mess hall. So they go to the mess hall and they can't find her. And then the doctor's like, I found her. She's on the roof. There are dead bodies outside, and it floats away into the black hole really dramatically right at the exact moment they look at her body for no good reason except that this is a television show and it's dramatic.
Yeah, a lot of the shots of the black hole are kind of dumb. Like there's a part where a red sort of stream is getting sucked into the black hole, and they're like, yep, that was that one civilization that was nearby. And I was like, it looks like it's getting sucked in really fast.
Yeah, so the black hole's really stylized in this story for obvious reasons.
I mean, wouldn't it be a lot slower? I barely know anything about black holes, but wouldn't it get sucked in over the course of like a really long time? Spaghettified or whatever it's called.
I mean, at the start it would be pretty slow, but the closer it got to the center, it would speed up.
Yeah, it made it seem like they're like, yep, there it goes. It's starting to get
It's
sucked
just
in.
gone.
They're
Bye.
all dying. And then like 2 seconds later, it's at the center.
Yeah, the planet falls in later on in like 2 minutes, which maybe that would happen. I don't know. I don't know how close they are to the black hole, and they don't say how big the black hole is. I guess if it's a really, really, really big black hole and they're like pretty close, then I guess it would fall in that quickly.
I mean, but we don't know, and
we
Matt
don't.
Jones probably didn't either.
Yeah, that's probably the key element here.
I don't think we mentioned the gravity well or
Well, I
path
mentioned
or
that
whatever.
the planet was generating a gravity well, which was keeping it up, but we didn't mention how the ship got to the planet, which was that there was like a gravity cone that it like rode in on.
That apparently connects straight to Earth, conveniently.
So, yay.
They don't reveal that until they're leaving on the ship at the end. They're like, let's hitch a ride on this gravity cone all the way back to Earth. And it was like, all right.
Yeah, so they're...
I mean, I guess it makes sense when it's revealed what that ancient civilization was up to. But maybe not. I don't know.
Anyway, they like memorialize Scooty, and then they all forget about it immediately because they get to the bottom of where they were drilling.
Yeah, they give...
Really is kind of like Inferno in that aspect.
Yeah, this story actually reminded me a lot of the Ark. With the monoids. The Ood were kind of monoid-like.
I guess.
Almost. But yeah, now that you mention it, Scooty is the only one who doesn't get like promoted a couple ranks and like given an honorable mention in death or whatever. They do that for everyone else who dies, including the Ood. Except for her.
Yeah, well...
But oh well.
Oh well.
Maybe getting sucked out of an
airlock.
It wasn't really an airlock, it was more just a...
It was just a walkway that had
Yeah.
a glass wall for some reason.
Yeah, maybe that's not an honorable death. Even though the Ood were just like... killed.
Sucked into a black hole. Anyway, yeah, so they hit the bottom of where they're drilling, and so they go to the command center, and they're like, well, we got to send somebody down. And Ida's like, I want to go down, I want to go down, I want to go down. The doctor's like, I'm going down with you because this is my life now.
The captain, throughout all of this episode and the next one, constantly makes, I guess it's part of his quote-unquote character when they reveal his quote-unquote backstory. But he constantly makes excuses like, there's nothing I can do, nope, can't help you now, like, this is it, this is what it is.
Well, he feels like he shouldn't be captain because he feels like he's not qualified to be captain because he was just
Yeah, he
field
probably isn't.
promoted because the previous guy died.
Yeah, and he probably isn't qualified to be captain. He's pretty cool by the end, but I honestly thought he was going to be the revealed to be controlled by the demonic force at the end, especially when he's like, nope, can't help you now. Gotta kill everyone. Gotta make these choices that are going to result in bad things happening. But I guess he was just doing the best with what he had to work with.
Which was not a lot. So the doctor and Ida like get into this really small little elevator thing and start descending the 10-mile
Yeah.
shaft they've dug. And apparently they have 10 miles of cable.
Really convenient and good planning, I guess.
Yeah, so they're going down. But that's what they do for the rest of the first episode, by the way, is they just descend into the cavern.
I think they make it down to the cavern.
Yeah, they do.
By the end
But
of the
I'm
first
just saying,
episode.
like, character-wise, the Doctor and Ida, what they do for the rest of the first episode is just descend into the cavern.
Yeah.
But now the Ood start acting up.
Yeah, Dan and Rose are sort of overlooking where the Ood storage bay, I guess, is. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, they all sleep in like little, I guess, charging pads, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the middle passage, except sci-fi and like a lot better.
So, yeah, they start going, their mental activity goes to basic 30, and Dan's like, basic 30 is like really dangerous and just fries your brain. Oh, look, they're at basic 100 now, which is like kills you as brain death.
Yeah, because Dan mentions, I don't know if it's now or maybe it was earlier, but that the Ood have like a psychic connection between themselves and they all share a singular mind.
Mm-hmm. So, and they monitor the telepathic activity of the Ood for, I guess, things like this.
Yeah, they're supposed to be at basic 5 or something like that. But yeah, they're at basic 100 now. And they all turn towards Rose and Dan, and they're like, the
And
beast is
Jefferson.
rising. Oh yeah, Jefferson's there too.
They're like really cheery about it. They're like, here comes the beast. He's coming for you. Snatching up your kids. Climbing in your windows.
Hide your artifacts. Hide your crew.
But yeah, now Toby all of a sudden goes face tats on everyone. He's like, the beast is coming. He's coming through me. And they're like, that's kind of weird, Toby. Have you been smoking again?
And Jefferson is like, I'm authorized to shoot, Toby. Don't make me shoot.
And then Toby's like, can you kill all of them, though? And then the face tats fly off his face and infect all the ood, and then all their eyes go red, and they start marching on them.
And that's, I think, the end of the episode.
Well, also, they have to just throw in some extra cliffhangeriness. The Doctor and Ida make it down, and they find like a trap door of some sort, and it starts to open.
They find some ruins of some ancient civilization, and I think one of the crew, probably Toby, hypothesized that there was. Actually, they already knew about the ancient civilization.
Yeah.
But they find its ruins. They don't really zoom in or show the ruins up close or in any way where you could really see them.
Yeah,
But
it's off the corner of the
I guess
camera.
it's kind of cool.
But also they throw in some extra cliffhangeriness because now the captain is like, the planet's gravitational field is faltering. We're falling into the black hole.
Oh no.
And then, yeah, that's how episode 1 ends. And then it's like, to be continued.
Yeah. So weirdly, they play the credits before the preview. Again, I forgot which other story did that. Must have been Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel.
I think it's so that you can flip off if you don't want the entire plot of the episode spoiled for you.
Yeah, but then again, in episode 2, in Satan Pit, they just go back to how they'd always been doing it. So, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they only really do it for
Two-parters.
Two-parters.
Kind of lame. I mean, I watch them anyway, but just looking out for the people who don't want to watch them, I guess. And by looking out, I mean complaining about it on a podcast.
Satan Pit starts with a recap, and then the title sequence, and then the captain goes, the gravitational field has stabilized. We're not falling in anymore.
Yeah, really playing up that classic series style cliffhanger in this season. In the two-parters, I guess.
Jefferson starts gunning down some ood. Two people just die, by the way.
Yeah,
like two people who didn't have names. They just get killed by the ood.
So this was really stupid. These two people die. I didn't even know that they were in the story until they show up and die. I didn't even know who these people were.
I'm pretty sure they were the two people who showed up with Jefferson at the very start of the story.
God.
But yeah, they just get like electrocuted by the the oob orb thing.
The ood orb.
The ood orb.
Apparently it has the power to do that. It's just a translator / brain case / weapon all in one.
Yeah. Sounds pretty handy to me. Sign me up.
It's like the sonic screwdriver, but less functional.
Yeah, they don't use the screwdriver at all in this story. The doctor pulls it out at one point and then just puts it away. So...
Anyway, Jefferson starts telling Toby that he's gonna shoot. He's like, "What are you doing? Who are you? I'm gonna shoot you." And
yeah, at the end of the story, you realize, Rose should have just let Jefferson shoot Toby.
Yeah, she should have. Rose stops him. But what was kind of weird about this whole scene was when Toby was obviously infected by the satanic force and had the red eyes and the tats and everything. Jefferson was like, I'm authorized to shoot. Don't make me shoot. And then when he's back to normal, he's like, I'm going to do it. Now I'm really going to do it. I was like, all right.
Just do it, Jefferson.
Do it.
Just do it.
Don't let your dreams be okay. Whatever.
He should have just done it. But no, Rose is like, no, look, he's clean. Rose has no idea that Toby's clean at all. She's just kind of making this up.
I mean, he looks clean. I can understand, but he's not. So anyway, the Ood start barging in, and
they start cutting the bolts in the door.
Oh, yeah. This was actually really funny because the guy in the Ood costume who was doing this was really exaggerating the movements, and I guess made it more scary, but also at the same time more funny.
The captain's in the the control room, I guess, and he's like, I've got a gun with one bullet, and it's not even a real gun, it's a bolt gun.
He's like, I can kill one ood with this.
So
I guess a bolt gun can kill.
Yeah, it fired that bolt at pretty high velocity when Rose used it. So the doctor and Ida are talking, and Ida's like, would you go down? The doctor's like, yeah, in an instant, but...
Because they found the pit.
Yeah, the pit opened up at the end of the previous episode.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa, looks bottomless.
And the doctor's like, but after everything I've seen here, I'm actually just going to retreat for once. For once, I'm going to make the right choice, and we're just going to leave.
Yeah, Zach gives them the order to bail out.
And Ida's like, no.
Yeah, Ida doesn't want to follow it, and she's like, well, what would you do, Doctor? And the Doctor contemplates it for a really long time. A lot of good character moments for the Doctor in this.
Yeah.
In relation to the pit. And the Doctor's like, yeah, you know what? I think we should just leave.
Yeah.
And Ida's like, yeah, I really don't want to, but sure.
Yeah, so they get in the elevator, and they're like, we're coming back up, and then all the power goes out.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn it.
And something happens. I forget why this happens, but the cord that they use to get down into the...
The cord just snaps. The Beast obviously snaps it with his powers, but it just snaps. There's nothing that causes it to snap.
So it was the Beast
just
snapping it with his powers?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I don't remember that. But yeah, it snaps, and they're like, well, guess we can't get back up now. I guess we're just going to die here since we have an hour of oxygen left. Might as well use this 10 miles of cord to get down into the pit.
Yeah, Ida's like, well, we've got 10 miles of cord. Let's just go into the pit. And the Doctor's like, yeah, but I'm going, not you.
Probably for the best.
Meanwhile, the Ood are... Well, they do break through the door into Ood control, I guess. And Dan is like, I can overwhelm the Ood's telepathic connection if I go to Ood central habitation and broadcast this one thing, but there's Ood between us and Ood habitation. And they're like, well, we could go through the vents. The vents don't have air. And then Zach's like, I can put air.
Yeah, they can like siphon in air into certain parts of the vents, but not all at once. There's also this scene where everyone's talking over the comm line all at once, and Zach sort of, I guess, steps in, becomes the captain, and calms them all down and starts giving orders to everyone.
This is also when the Beast reveals that it knows a bunch about everybody. It reveals that Jefferson's wife secrets. Never forgave him.
For something, we don't really know what.
It doesn't really matter.
Revealed something about Ida's father, don't really know what, again.
It also reveals that Rose will die in battle super soon, so...
It reveals some more stuff about some of the other characters, but again, we don't really learn... Anything.
It's a lot of talking with not a lot of substance.
Yeah, Toby's a virgin. Dan lied to someone.
It seems a lot less consequential.
Out loud. Oh god.
Jefferson's over here with his wife who has never forgiven him for something he's done, and Dan's like, yeah, I lied to someone. Toby's a virgin, like that was his biggest, darkest secret? What?
Yeah, Toby and Dan sort of... And Zach's big dark thing in his past is that he's not ready to step into the role as commander. Wow, what a surprise. Really revealing a lot here, Beast.
Dan lied to someone and now what?
Maybe he lied about his credentials and that's why he's on this expedition. And maybe he feels responsible for not being able to control the Ood, the one job that he was supposed to have. No, probably not. He doesn't really seem like he feels responsible for anything, actually.
I mean, if you can justify Dan's, can you justify Toby? He's a virgin. It's the darkest thing in his past.
Yeah. Then again, if you can justify Dan, then you can justify slavery. Kind of. I mean, if you can just, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Beast wasn't like, Dan's deepest, darkest secret is that he's actually down with slavery.
I mean, he kind of is. Come to think of it, yeah, that's probably actually what they should have done in this scene for Dan.
Well, they didn't, so they all get into the vents. The doctor's like, look, he was just playing on like really obvious things. Except you, Rose, the whole dying in battle thing. I don't know what that was all about, yo.
But don't listen.
Yeah.
Rose is really choked up about it.
She doesn't want to die, I guess.
In battle.
I'd rather die in battle than just die like in the vents with the ood.
Well, Jefferson kind of did die in battle.
I guess the doctor's having a hard time telling you not to believe it when, like, the thing the Beast told everybody else was true, so...
The way the Beast gets to the doctor is that the doctor asks it what it is and where it's from, and it's like, I'm old, older than you could possibly know, older than the universe itself, older than time and space. And the doctor's like, wait, what? That doesn't fit into the framework of what I know to be true.
Well, the doctor's like, I don't think that's possible, to be older than time itself. But, whatever.
And it also plays into the doctor's guilt about killing all of his own people for like half a second, and then goes
the
back
Beast
to
is like the one who killed his own race, and the doctor's like, yeah, I'm already over it. I mean, he's obviously not over it, but...
But yeah, the whole being older than time and space itself is kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Makes sense that the doctor would be sort of shaken up about it, so I guess nice that that's how they played into the doctor's fear.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really to complain about there. Unfortunately.
So they're in the ventilation shafts.
They take this really tense scene and use it to deliver some incredible humor. But then in an actually funny moment, they look back and one of the ood is just crawling at the speed of light behind them.
Yeah, the ood crawling was just so comical. So Jefferson like stays behind to try to take out the ood, and he's not quick enough to get through the door before it closes.
Zach is doing a terrible job of like making sure the correct vents are closed and the correct ones are open, and making sure the correct ones have air and keeping the ood out.
Yeah.
And Jefferson ends up sacrificing himself.
He asks the Captain Zach to vent all the air from the area that he's in so that he can just die a peaceful death before the ood gets to him. And the captain's like, okay. And then the captain says that he died with honors. I was like, but Scooty didn't die with honors. Scooty just died.
But yeah. Oh, we didn't mention how Dan is like freaking out through all of this and making everything worse. And I guess sort of getting mad at Zach. And we see glimpses of Toby still being possessed by
the Beast.
Anyway, they open one of the doors.
And there's just ood behind them.
Ood. The ood are surprisingly strong. They can keep the door open, even though Zach is trying to close it. And they get out of the vents. And
yeah.
I think they're near the ood control center, or they're in it or something. But they make it to the computer, and they're able to broadcast the signal that deactivates the ood telepathic field.
Yeah, so they all just collapse in pain.
Yeah.
Why would you do this to us, Dan? Dan, you betrayed us.
Yeah, I'm glad they bring the ood back. The ood need their time in the sun.
Do they, though?
Yeah, I really like the ood. They were cool. Their design was like 50% of that. If they weren't designed as cool as they were, I wouldn't have liked it.
It's also revealed later on that their planet is like right next to the sense sphere from the Sensorites.
Well, didn't the Sensorites have some sort of telepathic ability?
Yeah, they did. Because that was the story that was revealed that Susan
used Susan's powers.
And then they just threw them away.
No, sorry, the second time they used them in Unearthly Child. The most mundane thing ever, which is like getting A's on tests. Yeah, come to think of it, they'd pull a school reunion thing in Unearthly Child where Barbara and Ian are like, no student could be that smart. She must be cheating or using telepathic abilities. No, there's no way that she could actually just be a really good student and really brilliant.
Yeah, well,
Coal Hill Academy isn't known for its good academics.
I mean, it turns out they were right. So...
Yeah. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
So
they I forget why they start going somewhere else.
They evacuate the base. We forgot to mention
they're
that
trying to evacuate the
Captain
base.
Zach got some power back because the rocket ship has some power, and they rerouted it back through the station. But yeah, now
Yeah,
Zach's
they-
like, we should just evacuate because we don't have any way to get the Doctor and Ida back. We should just leave.
We skipped the whole Operation 9 thing or whatever it was, which was jettisoning parts of the base, but I don't really know what it was anyway.
It was opening all the airlocks and just shoving everyone in the command center and just opening all the airlocks.
Huh. Well, that probably wouldn't have worked anyway, since the Beast can just survive out in space.
Anyway, the group decides to go to the rocket ship, but first they try to get in touch with Ida and the Doctor, but the Doctor, they lost contact with them at one point because the comms went out.
The entire cord has been used up, all 10 miles of it.
Yeah.
And the Doctor's still not at the bottom of the pit. And he wants to just detach the cord and fall down. He's like, could be 300 feet, could be 5. Never know, unless we detach the cord.
Yeah, he's like, we're going to die here anyway, so like, what's the difference between running out of oxygen and dying by dropping who knows how many feet? So he just does. He's just like, tell Rose, well, she knows, and he just drops.
There's some nice dialogue about Rose here. I kind of liked this scene with the Doctor talking about Rose. And Ida's like, no, don't you dare, Doctor. And he's like, nope, I'm going to do it. Haha.
Haha, bye.
And yeah, he was actually just a foot away from the bottom now.
I mean, he seemed to be pretty close to the bottom in actuality, although he like flipped over and smashed his helmet on landing, which kind of sucks. I'm surprised he didn't get impaled by glass in his face.
He's actually just 10 feet away from the bottom, but he gets glass in his face. But they think that, understandably, I guess, Zach is like, you gotta face it, Rose. The Doctor's dead. She's like, no, I believe in him. He's not dead.
Yeah, and the captain's like, I'm not losing another one today. Boys, knock her out.
Like tase Rose, and they go to the escape ship.
Yeah, so they take off, and Rose is like, no, take me back. And they're like, yeah, no. And then Rose picks up a gun and is like, take me back.
She picks up the bolt gun. She's like, I'm going to shoot you if you don't turn this ship around, Captain.
And now let's analyze this plan for a minute. let's analyze this plan. This isn't a slight on Rose. This is a slight on Matt Jones for writing this in here, because here's the thing. Like, if she shoots the captain...
Then they all die.
Yeah, they all die, because the captain's the one piloting the ship, and none of the other people are in a position to pilot the ship at all.
Yeah, and if they turn around, they all die.
Yeah, so, like...
Yeah, so there's really no choice.
There's really not...
Makes Rose seem really stupid. And really out of character.
Yeah. Yeah,
I pretty much hated this part.
And the captain knows this. He's like, you're not going to shoot me.
Especially...
Why?
Especially since Rose has always, more so than any other companion, has always been the one who's like, well, the Doctor wouldn't want me to resort to violence, and has actually seemed like she learned a lot from the Doctor's ways, I guess. And saying it like that makes it actually seem like a bad thing, kind of. But, just seems really out of character for Rose, of all companions, to be the one to do this. I might understand, like, another companion, like Leela, Adric.
Well, it seems like especially more out of character because not 20 minutes ago she stops Jefferson from shooting Toby for no good reason, and now she's like, what, gonna shoot the captain?
And 5 seconds from now, the captain's like, the Doctor would want it to be that way. And Rose is like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But...
Oh, well...
Anyway,
whatever.
In the pit, the Doctor finds
this
Satan.
Is the pits.
He finds Satan.
He finds some. I don't know why he doesn't find Satan right away, because he's a giant screaming beast 2 feet away. But first, he finds the cave paintings, which depict the ancient it depicts the ancient civilization sealing away Satan using these 2 vases.
Or the beast, I guess he's technically called.
He's the beast. Satan is one of his many names.
They apparently constructed this prison so that if the beast tries to escape, the planet will plummet into the black hole and kill the beast, which really calls into question how smart this ancient civilization really was. They should have just killed the beast when they had the chance. I don't know why they set up this prison that kills him anyway as soon as he tries to escape.
I guess they weren't powerful enough to kill the beast himself, but the black hole could do it, I guess.
But yeah, why didn't they just drop the planet into the black hole as soon as they...
It was their planet, presumably. And they're like, well, we'll just keep you in this prison forever, and hopefully we'll be
gone by the time you fall into the...
shows up.
Hopefully we'll be gone by the time you fall into the black hole. Now the Doctor has like a quandary because he's like, oh man, if I like kill you, I'll have to kill Rose too because she'll plummet into the black hole too, and I don't want to kill Rose. Like, I don't care about my own personal safety. I only care about Rose.
That seems realistic.
Does it really though?
Yeah, it does.
Does it actually though?
Yeah.
That he would only consider Rose's survival and not his own?
Yeah.
Okay. It just seems weird to me that, and not at any point in here does he go, man, I would have to die with you.
Yeah, that seems completely in character to me.
All right.
We also, I guess, skipped over the part where the beast separated its mind from its body.
Yeah.
So that whoever came to activate the trap that kills it, if it is freed, would have to make the decision between killing... I guess this just completely depends. I mean, it kind of doesn't make sense when you think about it, because it depends on the Doctor and Rose, or it depends on whoever is trying to free the beast also having a companion they really care about fleeing with the beast's mind in the gravity pathway cone thing. But, whatever. It's still just a nice decision, I guess, that the Doctor is forced into making. And he's like, well, you know what? I really trust Rose, so I'm going to free you, Beast.
Yeah, although the thing is, like, Rose isn't really the one who saves anything at all, except, I mean, she jettisons Toby's mind into space, but they were going to plummet into the black hole anyway, so that didn't really do anything in the long run if you think about it.
Yeah, because I guess this was actually kind of confusing. I don't think I completely understood what was going on here. But the Doctor deactivates, or he just smashes one of the vases, and that's what's keeping the beast in check. Mm-hmm. We didn't describe the appearance of the beast at all. It looks like a giant demonic satanic thing.
Just pick your favorite depiction of the devil in the Bible, and that's it. Although he's actually like 30 feet tall, I guess, and
or more,
chained to the wall. CG was pretty good, I guess. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, he has one horn. I guess the other one is snapped off, and he's chained. Mm-hmm. One of the horns is chained, and his hands are chained too. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, that was pretty good design. The whole design of this story was pretty cool. The base was pretty nice.
Yeah, the base looks really cool. Actually, it wasn't just. I mean, they gave it its own sort of unique look. It wasn't just corridors or had a yellow theme going on. Just splotches of color. Looked pretty industrial and not very Apple future, as they seem to have been going for in previous episodes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess.
But so the Doctor trusts Rose, smashes the thing, which activates the mechanism that
turns off the gravity. It turns off the gravity well that was keeping the planet out of the black hole. So the planet starts to fall in, which also turns off the cone that the spaceship was using to escape. So they start falling in too.
Yeah, so the ship turns back, and the effect or the CG scene with the ship turning back looks kind of lame because it honestly looks like Captain Zack is just manually turning the ship back. It doesn't really look like it falls back at all. And the beast's mind overtakes Toby again. And
Rose is like, shit, I should have left Jefferson to kill him.
Throughout all of this, the beast's mind has been in Toby, and it's been sort of trying not to smile.
Trying not to gloat that he's about to escape.
Yeah, and reach Earth, because they're headed to Earth, which is... This is when they reveal that the gravity cone is just connected to Earth.
So...
But Rose smashes the...
cockpit window, which sucking everyone out, but then she disengages Toby's seatbelt and he goes flying out.
Always wear your seat. That's the moral of this story, is just always wear a seatbelt.
Like I said, doesn't really do anything because the ship is still falling into the gravity well. So they, as far as they're all concerned, they're still going to die until the Doctor just completely lucks out right now and finds the TARDIS in the pit.
Yep.
This was, in my opinion, the dumbest part of this story, was that the Doctor just completely lucks out in finding the TARDIS in this pit and then can just tow the ship out of the black hole.
Yeah, it was kind of lame, but you know what? I accepted it because luck is a huge part of winning.
I just accepted it because luck is a huge part of Doctor Who, and...
I liked it, though. I liked how luck just saved them in the end.
Like I already said, I thought it was pretty lame.
The Beast can survive out in space. We've already seen that. So maybe he can survive the black hole, too.
I mean, maybe, but I think it's just gonna... I think he's just dead.
It's probably dead, but, you know.
The Beast's son apparently shows up in Torchwood.
Oh, God. It has a son?
That was my reaction. And then the Doctor reveals that he saved Ida somehow. And
I guess he just used the TARDIS to save her.
They trade Ida for Rose, I guess.
What if the Doctor's like, so how about a trade, Zach? Ida for Rose. And what if Zach is like, nope, we're going to be taking Rose.
Yeah, I like Rose better than Ida, so sorry. Bye.
No. They actually swap. And the Doctor and Rose go off in the TARDIS, and...
You're forgetting the best line of the story where Zach's like, what are you guys? And the Doctor's like, the stuff of legends. The final line of the story.
Well, the whole story had to do with like ancient legends and prophecies anyway, so kind of fitting.
I guess, but I was just like, if you have to say you're the stuff of legends, are you really the stuff of legends?
Yeah, tell that to the face of Bo. Anyway, no, it's at least it's not as bad as I think you need a doctor. Nothing will ever be as bad as that.
To each their own, I guess. I don't know. Once again, I thought the story was just okay. I didn't really love it or hate it.
I really liked it. I just thought the characters were memorable and better than most of the serial-specific characters that the reboot has given us so far.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the visuals, I guess. And overall, it's just pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to say about it.
Really,
I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any strong feelings on it. So I mean, I liked the sets and the design, like I already said, but
there's a lot of religious stuff, obviously, in this. The reboot has done a lot of religious stuff, I get, across multiple writers, surprisingly. Mm-hmm. I guess that's just something that coincidentally a lot of the writers for the show are interested in.
Well, I think religion is like an easy theme to like pick and do.
It is, and the classic show has actually dealt with religion a lot, but I guess I shouldn't say. I guess religion is the wrong word. I should be saying Christianity, because a lot of stories, specifically this one, Dalek, Bad Wolf, and Parting of the Ways, have brought in Christianity into the story.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say also religion and faith are not necessarily the same thing either. And I know the classic series dealt with faith a lot in its final couple seasons, especially with Ace and the Doctor.
It actually dealt with religion specifically in like false religions a lot.
Yeah.
Planet of Fire, Face of Evil, probably at least a dozen other ones that I could name.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, religion's just an easy theme to deal with, especially because pretty much everyone has an experience with religion, right? So
Doctor Who isn't just a TV show, it's a religious experience.
I mean, for us, it might have been, may have been, may still be. Anyway, I guess that wraps that up.
The music in this was pretty good. There was a recurring theme in this that I thought was it
was like a single violin kind of thing, or at least that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
It sounded like a single violin.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
The Bad Wolf theme showed up very briefly when the Doctor let go of the rope to plummet into the pit.
Do 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 do.
That could have literally been anything.
No, it sounded totally like it. Look, just because you're tone deaf doesn't mean you have to.
I'm tone deaf. I'm tone deaf. I'm gonna play as that segment of the song.
Just use that as our intro from now on. Play it over one of the episodes. You'll see that it sounds exactly like it.
No, I'm gonna play that exact rhythm right now, and you're gonna hear how it sounds nothing like it.
Do 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 do.
Anyway, now that that's out of the way, you can email us at thedoctor@decorativevegetable.com. Questions, comments, concerns, angry rants. Your submission to be the next composer for Doctor Who, because Murray Gold is finally moving on after 10 seasons. You can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play, all at Trust Your Doctor. Be sure to leave a rating if you liked the show.
Check us out on Facebook, Trust Your Doctor. Like us on Facebook. Also check us out on Twitter at TYD Podcast and follow us on Twitter. And next time we're watching Love and Monsters. But until then, the end.